sometimes the most benign places are the most harmful places. We live in rural Louisiana, and I have a child with special needs. And there was a lovely chain store that gives samples to all of the children. And there were many, many children crowded around, and my child has a very limited palate. He will not eat anything, and they just happened to have his favorite pizza on the platter for samples. And I saw it, and I thought, this would be a perfect teaching moment. I can teach my son to go up and interact with other human beings and ask for something he wants. And I can stand back and watch it, because I saw all of these other children walking up and getting their samples. I wasn't far, less than 5 feet, because I wanted him to feel safe but confident. And I watched all of these other children walk up and get their samples. And my child walked up, and the woman took her tray and walked away from him and ignored him. And he looked back at me, very confused. And he's got huge dimples. And he smiled at me. And I said, you can do it. Go get your sample. Introduce yourself. Tell her your name. Tell her hi. And say, may I have a sample, please? And scripted, he did it. Very monotone, very robotic, but he did it. And she looked at him and said, you can't have any of these. Where's your mother? You need a parent. These aren't for you. And he looked at me, and I watched his smile go. And he was so confused because he'd seen all the other children. My child was the only child of color. My child was the only brown child. My child was the only child with a special need. And I watched another child who happened to be a lovely little blonde girl walk up and get her sample with no parents. And she walked away. And again, he walked up. And he introduced himself. And she said, these are not for you. Where are your parents? And I said, I'm right here. And she said, never send your boy over here again without you. And I said, I've been standing here the whole time. But she wouldn't give him a stupid square of pizza. Something so small. That's probably harder than anything that's happened to me, was to watch that flash of confusion and know that I'm just as confused. And I can't explain it. I don't know. I don't know why they don't like us. I don't know. I don't know why you aren't good enough for the pizza. So I bought him his own.